ATOM is the Atmospheric Tomography mission. It takes a really large, scientifically instrumented aircraft around the world 4 times to measure gases and particles in the atmosphere. We take these measurements by instrumenting the world's largest research aircraft, the NASA DC-8, with chemical and aerosol instruments. These are custom built often by our collaborators at NOAA, NASA, and universities. And then we deploy on these 6-week-long field missions around the world, skimming the oceans to the top of the atmosphere to try to get a slice of the world and see the way the world is.
Particles can affect visibility, they affect precipitation, they can warm or cool the Earth, they can influence cloud formation, so they basically impact climate.
One of the things we don't understand about climate is how aerosol properties or aerosol particles interact with cloud. To make a cloud, you need aerosol particles. They act as a natural seed upon which the cloud particles grow. And so our measurements are giving us an unprecedented look at these aerosols on a global scale.
I measure ozone on the plane with this instrument behind me. It's actually a 4-channel detector, so I use it to measure nitrogen oxides and also ozone. So in the upper atmosphere, and specifically the stratosphere, ozone makes up what we think of as the ozone layer, and that protects us from the sun's UV radiation. Near the surface, ozone is actually a pollutant. We need ozone at some level, but too much of it is harmful to our health. And so we want to understand how that ozone is being formed at the ground level. We can use that data to inform our own air quality regulations and policy.
The ATOM project is collecting some really unique data that will be a gold mine for improving models, improving our representation of the future trajectory of the world's atmosphere, and formulate better policy decisions about pollution and emissions to the atmosphere in the future.
The coolest thing about the mission is being on the aircraft, flying at 500 feet over the ocean in the middle of nowhere and seeing icebergs go by.
It's very exciting. This is a very unique mission. It's very ambitious. Normally, we are based in one spot. This mission is traveling from location to location.
The deployment lasts a month. We have only 2 small duffel bags which have to contain all our clothes covering 4 seasons. We move from one place where it's winter to another one where it can be summer, so it's quite challenging.
When you're on the plane, you are generally exhausted, very anxious about whether or not your instrument is performing properly.
And the best day you can have is one where very little happens. It's good to be bored, because if you're not, something's gone wrong.
You're cold, you're cramped, the food is horrible, and yet it still somehow manages to be the most exciting thing you've ever done.
To learn more about ATOM and other research projects within CSD, check us out online.